a strong consolidation. Notice that from last year's around September, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over the last 6 quarters, the stock has been in a somber mode from about 210 to 270. Yesterday was the first day that Salesforce actually broke above with raised guidance for the full year estimates. And I'd say that this has to do with the remote work phenomenon where every enterprise is actually captivated and paying high for the for the entire cloud-related enterprise productivity apps and all the cloud computing companies. You got Salesforce now trading at 277. We view any pullbacks near 260 to actually be supported. So with the market climate actually very volatile, you can always see that while this is an uptrend, there has been dips. Example, 250 would fall to 40, then crawl up to about 250, sleep a while, and then rally to 270, sleep again, and even drop to 250, rallying to 280. This could still drop to about 260. But I'd say that drops at about $260 are meant to be bought rather than sold. So take a look on Salesforce on dips. Let's take a look on Asana. This is a stock that has never fallen. $30 now trading at 120 or 4x in just a couple of months. This was about June, and this is already nearing October. So this has been a stellar runner, an outperformer, but at these levels, I suppose we couldn't buy. In this scenario, though, it's just telling you that the sector of cloud has been very strong. Snowflake has also been in a very strong uptrend. Notice that this cloud data warehouse has gone up from about $200 to about $300 or 50%. That is a clear outperformance from the sector, even if it's a bit expensive. Any dips, as usual, what you'll do with these types of strong names is dips would be bought. It is very difficult to see them drop. In general, even with the market falling down at times, it's just generally been a conso about 5% or 6% lower. So for Snowflake, take a look at about $300 because that would be quite a strong support for Snowflake at this point in time. Affirm, all right. So we've been seeing a lot of digital payments doing very well, also going into the buy now, pay later. Initially, people were actually afraid that Affirm was going to get eaten by Square and PayPal entering the foray. Instead, the market actually bought it up 30% higher here from about 60 to 90 on account of Amazon. And then another good news. So you're seeing that after earnings and after the Amazon reports, Affirm has been on an easy uptrend wherein the new support has been $90 and every gaps on the dips have been still bought. I would say that Affirm is a bit expensive, but it is quite notable that there is strength. It remains to be seen whether there could be drops, but I don't want to buy into these types of levels. The market is very volatile. Yes, there is some positions that are very strong, like Affirm, but look into the entries on dips only. So if 90 is not ever done, maybe the higher low would be about 110. So the previous resistances here at about 130 to 140 is going to be broken if it's really very strong. Upstart, as you'll know, this is a stock that has been stellar this year, 2021. From a low of about $40, it's nearing 10x already to about 336 without any significant pullback. I wouldn't chase this level as usually a 10x move usually is congruent with another dilution or at least a 50% drop. So nonetheless, congrats to those who have Upstart, but very strong momentum does not actually bode well for those who don't have it yet. Palo Alto Networks also very strong for the year. You'll notice that it has consolidated from about 350 to 400 and broke out upon earnings. So what you're seeing with Salesforce is quite similar to the chart of Palo Alto Networks, wherein for Salesforce, it's slept for about 6 quarters and then breaking above 270. From a chart perspective, Palo Alto Networks is the same ground here. It's like buying here at about 420 and then continuing further to 480. This just tells you that people are happy to buy into earnings breakouts, especially if those are consolidation earnings-related breakouts. So Palo Alto Networks and CrowdStrike are of the same sector. That's all related to cybersecurity. We just note the strongest sectors. Notice that for CrowdStrike, it has slept within 230 all the way to about 180. The next resistance still remains 280. That's why you always see some resistance here about 280, and then dips at about 240 are also being bought. So here about 260, your downside is probably here about 240, the previous resistance. Just take a look at these levels, but you don't need to immediately get in. You still are recommended to buy on pullbacks, even if that pullback remains to be a week from now or a month from now. Sentinel-1, we are seeing slight profit taking. So after a strong rally from IPO, 40 all the way to 72, it seems to be that that has been the short-term peak. We might see it retest here at about $54. And for now, though, Sentinel-1, despite a very strong sector, is now getting profit taking. Roku, we are seeing strong catalyst, mostly on the side of expansion to other countries like Germany, Canada for Roku, expanding their streaming services to other Shopify merchants, and also getting a lot of upgrades. If you notice the chart of Roku, we can see that 310 and 290 were your previous supports for the last 20, this is about November, all the way to about October, or about 12 months. With a 12-month support here at about $300, we would view that any dips of Roku, especially below 330, to be bought. So last night was the first gap up because of a breakout on upgrades from analysts. Yes, it remains to be seen at 360. There is a strong resistance. Notice the first pressure resistance on Roku came about when Amazon was entering the same domain of Roku, competing with them in the connected TV. I do think, though, that the dominant market share of Roku is still going to remain in play for the next year. Next few years, and therefore this drop at about 310 is actually more of a buying entry, and 330 below is okay for us to buy and wait until about next 3 months for the next earnings report. PayPal, so we see strength in digital payment. We like the earnings front. Notice that after earnings, PayPal has actually struggled, still sleeping here at about 270, although there is still that very strong uptrend that remains in play even after, even before, even a year ago. So October 2020, you would have bought at 180. October 2021, you are heavily rewarded with a 50% increase. It's not as strong as Upstart. It's not as strong as other payment names, but PayPal remains to be growing very well with 100% growth year on year. So the stock price merely reflects that great fundamentals. We do think that this 270 will continue to be higher, and any dips near 260 or 270 are usually being bought by the market. Triple support here from the previous resistances are becoming this, the short-term buying bias. So PayPal, we are bullish here. Same thing for Square. Notice that most of these payment centers, payment plays, point of sale have been very resilient. And we can see right now that what's happening is that although there is a one-year struggle, 2021 hasn't been doing much for Square. It's just been sleeping for the year. It's been sleeping from 180 to 280 or a 100 range. We do think that this 270 to 280 will be broken eventually for another all-time high for next year in preparation for next year. So for Square and PayPal, these are strong uptrends, and we would like to buy on any dips. As usual, I'm showing the strongest charts first. Robinhood, okay, introducing cryptocurrency, but that's about what PayPal and Square are also offering. Same case for many brokerage firms like Interactive Brokers. So they're not the only one. Nonetheless, we could see this very strong uptick in the short term. It could be seen that $40 could be the first short-term low. And as it is above 40, we could say that Robinhood is consolidating. First resistance, 52, and then higher resistance at about 60 or a 50% range for Robinhood. SoFi is actually in a trading range right now, trading near resistance for the last 6 months. From March till October, the stock has never traveled beyond 1750. We'd see whether it actually breaks above. If it does break above, it's going to have another resistance at 20 and furthermore at about 24. Nonetheless, we can see very clearly that dips are being bought in the digital payment sector and cryptocurrencies and brokerage firms. And SoFi manages to give all of that in with their investors. So we're more bullish here, constructive on this, despite the fact that it's a trading range. See to it that if you're going to buy SoFi, wait drops below 15 for a further advantage. Because right now, even if there is signs of going up, we do not know if it's going to be trading in a range. So best case scenario, when you're not sure, you always buy on the support, which is still at about 14 and below 15. QuantumScape has shown resilience, especially after news of a tie-up with the top two world's largest automakers. Notice though that there's a huge range for QuantumScape after falling 85% from its peak of 130. We can see very clearly 20 to 21 has become the support of QuantumScape, but it's unclear whether there's resistance is 32 or 41. In the short term, some people might even say that the current levels of 27 to 32 are more of a profit-taking area since there's no clarity on how high this can go. Good momentum, yes. Higher low at 24 is true, but resistance is murky. We don't know if we are encountering a trading range for QuantumScape. The first thing to note when you're in an extended downtrend for QuantumScape, which fell all year long, is to assume that this resistance at 32 is very strong, and any rallies towards 32 is going to be met with a lot of resistance. So first things first for QuantumScape, don't get ahead of yourself. That's more of a sell on rally rather than buy on any price entries. If you will buy though, understand that this is a 60% range. Usually when you have a 60% range, try to buy on the midway or below the middle. So if you're gonna buy, I'd say really that QuantumScape is a buy only below 24. Life cycle, so we are seeing battery makers all needing a lot of lithium. So a lot of recycling has been in the news lately, the demand for batteries for all electric vehicles. So life cycle addresses that. Just wanted you to see the sector move. With QuantumScape addressing the solid state batteries, the other stocks in the sector are also very strong. Just telling you 8 to 1150. So the 50% ranges on batteries is not something just for QuantumScape, but actually for all other battery makers or battery material producers addressing that shortage. So here, it's very clear that life cycle is nearing the top of the range, but dips near 9 will actually be seen by us to be actually a retest of a possible uptrend or a reversal. American Battery Metal also answers that demand for all of the recycling batteries. Therefore, we are seeing that the previous demand here, notice 1 to 2, which is a 100% rise. Also 150 all the way to 250, another 1 peso rise. We are seeing that this 150 could rally all the way to about either 2 or 250. So at these levels, 150 below, it's near support. So we are bullish on American Battery Metals. Reopening travel related, let's take a look at the sector. Actually, we are seeing strong breakouts in the reopening sector. Hilton Worldwide just broke above a 130, which is actually a 6-month consolidation, showing to us that their ability to have debt convertibles is actually being met positively, meaning cash is really helping all of these hotels, even if their operations are not up to par. United Airlines, so we know that airlines aren't really doing well from an earnings standpoint, but the market nonetheless doesn't really care about that and has been ignoring all those earnings reports. They like the recovery, and we are seeing that the market is really betting upon 45 as a support, with United Airlines strong resistance on 56. We don't see a strong trading range here, but it is notable to see that there is reopening happening in a positive way, even in the likes of these sectors. Marriott International also rallying 4%. Notice that for about 3 years, Marriott has never broken all-time highs. I'm not of the view that these are momentum moves, but it is showing to you how positive the sector is and how bullish the market is on cyclical sectors. This is a very cyclical sector. Airbnb is a cyclical sector. The fact that it broke 170 tells you that the market is very bullish. Nonetheless, here about 180 to 220, these are trapped resistances that I would say are still going to be high resistances. So although there is mixed signals, I'm of the view that this is more of a sell even if it goes higher. US Global Jets is an ETF for all your airlines. Notice that it has been rallying in congruence with all of your Delta Airlines, United Airlines, and all of your hotels. I am of the view, though, that this is a trading range. 21 here has been supported, 21 to 22. Strong resistance at 25 initially. assume that the prior support is a resistance. Just watching Delta Airlines, prior support here about 43. We'll see whether it gets rejected or it gets broken out. But so far, constructive things happening on the charts of reopening stocks. Hyatt Hotels, constructive also. Not as strong as Marriott, but Hyatt Hotels also going up. Summit Hotels also going up. In the same vein, Ashford has been also going up. Okay, so Editas Medicine, what can we say here? This is a trending genetic editing name. From about $30, it has rallied to $60, and we haven't seen a strong selling pressure yet. It has been just in an uptrend channel, so any dips 30 or 50, but with that strong rebound for Editas, strong trend, I'd say that the market is bullish in Editas Medicine and in all of their trial, which are still in phase 2, phase 3. Some are even just phase 1. Intellia Therapeutics, notice the trend has been still met. This is one of those trending genetic editing names. After breaking 60% here, a breakout here from 90 all the way to 155, it is seen for the last 5 months from about July till about October, actually 4 months. It's just been consolidating in a very high zone. Tells you that it's still strong. I wouldn't buy here because it's very volatile. The market's very volatile nowadays, but we can see strength. So it's important to just notice where the strength is coming from. Beam Therapeutics also uptrend. Notice that after rallying to 110, there has been some selling pressure, but 98 has also been met, and these are higher lows. So because $70 here, and you've got 98, which is about nearing 50% all overall for the last 4 or 5 months, we can see strength all across these 3 names. If you're looking for genetic editing names that are strong, take a look at Beam Therapeutics, Intellia, and Editas for your top picks. Global Star, let's just take a look at it. It's been in a very difficult trading range. Notice that it used to be a very strong resistance at 170. It rallied all the way to 280, but got met with several resistances as Apple denied using GSAT satellite communication. So the only thing that we know so far for GSAT is that it has very strong connections with Qualcomm. That was the initial pump here from about $1 all the way to $3. That was the Qualcomm news. That still is true. So we are seeing this is already higher lows. As long as Global Star stays above 160, we are of the view that this is still in an uptrend, and there will be more use cases for their low orbit satellites for internet 5G use cases. AST Space Mobile also doing low orbit satellites, same scenario with GSAT. For those communications like Verizon, they've been using partnerships with ASTS or Space Mobile. So all of this seems to be still nascent, still a nascent industry. We will see whether it will go higher, but the fact that it's above 10 tells me that this is one of those SPACs that is more stronger rather than the other space names. A lot of the other space names have been very volatile, and ASTS is one of those strong names, perhaps because of their use case, simply because of 5G. Take note on Astra. Astra Space has been very volatile. You've got failures on some of their rocket launch, which actually got met with some sell-offs. You see this drop 17 all the way to about 9, rallying to 12, a failure, then it's back to 9. So far, we are still in 9. At least it has not broken all the way down to 6 or 5. It's still near that SPAC area of 10, which tells you that there's a lot of bullishness for Astra Space. It remains to be seen, but I'm seeing a lot of supporters here at 930. That means that people are willing to see that Astra Space will have a successful launch sometime within the next coming months. Actually, Astra Space does a lot of launches, sometimes not even months, but weeks. So just keep tabs on this. Rocket Lab, successful move, 10 to 17, 10 to 20, and then getting sold down. Very hard to buy at 14, knowing a lot of people has a lot of pressure buying here at about 10. So just noticing the movements, huge ranges for space-related issues. Now, for those companies addressing the 3D printing market, we are seeing the strongest name is 3D Systems. 3D Systems is still trading above 25, steady here at about 29, but it seems as if it's more in a trading range. So nothing to show here except more of a neutral zone, 25 to 30 so far. But if it breaks above 32, then it can potentially be a double top or triple top here at 40. So not strong, but a trading range nonetheless, higher end trading range. Nano dimension, we could see that almost all the selling pressure seems to be over. Just like QuantumScape, which really had suffered a strong drop, we see Nano Dimension suffering 70% from its peak, 17 to 6, wherein it's now trading at cash. So Nano Dimension we have a strong buyer bias here because it's at support, and at $6, you are at cash per share, and that has been the support all year long. So when you're in a 1-year support, similar to Ruqua 320 or 310 or 330, I am more confident to be a buyer there, especially when you have cash flows. So those are important things and criteria when you're looking to buy or ideas in the charts. Ryoko Robotics has since surged these days from about 130 rallying to 260. Right now, it could be just profit taking. It could even fall from about 220 all the way to 150. I would be hesitant to actually enter Ryoko Robotics, but it's interesting to note that stocks falling 80% are surging 100% in a single day. So this is a very small company. Actually, it's considered a micro cap. This is just less than $100 million. So we need to actually evaluate how these small micro companies are getting traded at in the market. So nothing to comment here for now, except that the earnings were good. If you're really bullish, obviously at 150 or below, if it ever goes down, I'd assume there are more buyers than sellers here, especially after they've sold at $2.50 or $2.20. Fuel cell, we are seeing this one similar to QuantumScape after disastrous drop. This one dropped 80% from its peak. It seems as if that 80% drop has been enough. First resistance is $8, which is the 70% area, and then strong resistance at 10. So we could be seeing a 6 to 10 range for fuel cell after strong earnings. And this was the first time that the volume surged here from about 6 all the way to 8. The retest was here at about 6 yet again, rallying again to 7. So 7 to 8, you might have some resistance there. Just to be safe, these types of stocks I'll only buy on that retest of $6 or $6.30 area, because that it pays to be more careful buying only on support rather than the momentum, which is happening right now for fuel cell. And what happened with fuel cell is happening as well to the peer, which is Plug Power. Plug Power has gotten support at 24, rallying to 28. Don't worry if you missed out, because there might be chances yet again for 24. Chart will tell you that there will always be retests. This one had a retest July, near August, near September. We don't know, maybe October it retests again 24. So for now, we are just stuck in a trading range for Plug Power, and same case for F-Cell. Ford Motor is more of a bullish front. If you're looking for trending ideas, Ford Motor is actually very, very strong. You've noticed that Ford has partnered with Redwood Materials, which is really a battery recycling company. So it has been paving the way for more and more EVs to actually source from these battery makers. Very positive for the battery sector, and you're seeing Ford is actually going up. So Ford has done very well on earnings front. You could see that after earnings there was a gap up, trading near 1450 this day, and has dropped all the way to 1250, which is just a consolidation in our view. This is a healthy pullback, and what you've seen here is a reversal now going back to about 1450 to 16. We're bullish on Ford with view any drop to 13 actually always being bought. So for Ford, this is one of our top ideas in the short term. But of course, in the long term, you might see. In the long term, I'm not that confident that Ford is really gonna beat the likes of Tesla, in the US in terms of market share. So I always just think of Ford in the long term as a trade, but it's really a good trade in the short term, and also at the moment you've got a potential 20 to 30% range for Ford. I think the range resistance for Ford will be about 15 to 16. The numbers are good for Ford. You notice that the earnings told you a 400% increase and a 150,000 Ford trucks already pre-sold. So that was revealed during the earnings front. So F-150 Lightning is the huge catalyst for Ford Motors. And of course, the subsidies that Biden infrastructure is giving for all related companies that have unions, Ford Motor is one of those beneficiaries. Same thing for General Motors. We're seeing these big automakers in US actually rallying. Supported at 48. Notice that $48 is actually a support for the last year as well. So that is actually a resistance that became support. We're seeing it rally to 52. Strong resistance at 60. So just like Ford, I wouldn't see Ford and GM trending so strongly, but it is still a trading range nonetheless. Because it's near support, you get a buy. And of course, your selling area pressure is more in the 60 areas. So that's still about 20+% in the reward zone. Lucid Motors is in the top end of the range. So I would be viewing this cautiously. Just because it's very strong, I don't think that 28 will be a sure shot go up to about $40. So I'd say that this consolidates. Why? Because production of vehicles are yet to happen in 2022. So until they can sell and produce, I'd say that this is still more of a trading range for Lucid. You'd have all the chances in the world, in my view, to buy it back either October or November, nearing $20. Okay, oh, wait, sorry. Wait up. Sorry, I need to do a quick release. Pending orders. Okay, hello. Sending a Gcash. Wait up. I'm doing peer-to-peer. I can't not release this. Sorry, I know I'm streaming. Please wait patiently until you receive the payment. I need to see the payment. Send screenshot. I can't send crypto to them, sorry, until he pays me. I need to ensure that I got paid. Just wait. Sorry, I know I'm streaming, but I'm also doing a side business here. So you're exceeding. Okay. Pardon. I only have one GCash number. Can you pay me via Union Bank? I didn't realize I can't receive anymore. So I know this is an interruption. Just think about this as an intermission. Okay. Sige, sorry. You can cancel the order first. If I can't receive the payment via GCash, I can also receive via BDO, via BPI if you want. But for Union, let me know and I'll release. Let me know how you wish to pay. BPI 401923868. Nikki Yu. Kindly send screenshot and I'll send crypto and I'll release the Diaz. Just send it over here. Thank you. Okay, sorry for that intermission. Yep. Pardon. Okay, let's just go through Yeah, okay. I know. Yeah, I shared. I'm sorry, I didn't notice that yeah, I was sharing my screen. Pardon. So you just saw a Binance peer-to-peer crypto, how it works. Anyway, yeah, so in electric vehicles, Tesla is very strong. This is showing you that long-term move is very strong in your Tesla. So Ford and GM could be good trades, but Tesla is still that when you are seeing higher lows from June, despite the volatility in the market, it tells you that any dips of Tesla, say below 700, is now going to get supported. But clearly, there is still resistance at 800 and 900. Tesla works with round numbers, very strong round numbers. UiPath and Upstart are very strong, but I would be very careful not to chase them. BYD, just showing to you how electric vehicles right now are doing. They're actually trading here just at support. So we are seeing higher lows for BYD. I think BYD and Tesla are already assumed by the market as the top electric vehicles that will succeed for the next decade. So for those who want a Chinese Tesla, you can get in with BYD company. But of course, you might get a better entry with 200 if more volatility with China risks ensues. But this one is already showing you that long-term trend is intact. Fundamentals and technicals align for BYD and Tesla. XPeng, I think, is trading a neutral range. Strong higher lows. You know that it's supported of 30. Okay, I think he just answered me. Short break. Wait short break. Pause share. Wait up. He answered me. I have to answer him back within 15 minutes. Sorry. Please have a backup number. I'm sorry, lacking funds in bank. Can transfer from GCash. Ooh. Sorry. Okay. Let me just cancel this. Bakit bawal? Are you sure bawal? Bawal maka-receive ng... Wala naman ako na-receive na GCash today. Parang weird. How do I cancel this? Can you click cancel order? Yeah, I should probably just go temporarily offline when I'm streaming. No, you click it. Okay. Let me see how to... Okay. Wait. Um... I need to cancel this. So... How do I cancel this? So he hasn't paid me. Reset. Filter. Wait Ang alam ko lang release eh. I don't know how to cancel. Pending order. Shock, sorry There is a monthly limit. Yeah. I wouldn't receive na lang via GCash next time para no problem like this. Sorry po guys. Sorry. I know I'm taking I don't know how to cancel this. You have 0 new orders. Please refresh. I don't know how to cancel this. I don't want to release crypto. How can we cancel this? No, you click it. Blacklist. Please enter block reason less than 200 characters. Sorry, sir. Not paid. Well, can't send through bank to Gcash. Next time ko na lang ika-cancel yung blacklist. Next time ko ika-cancel. Pero, how do I cancel this then? Pending orders. Post ads. Hindi, no, not that. Where the hell? Where's that cancel button? I don't want to release crypto. He hasn't received. Shock. Sorry, yeah, I need to check how to cancel P2P in Binance. Sorry, fast move. Shucks, I don't know kasi how to cancel. Why do I have an ad? What is the 30 day? What's the minimum number of Bitcoins I can trade? Okay. How can I report fraud? How do I pay? How many payments can I link to my account? Can I use someone else's account? Hindi eh. What the hell? How do I cancel? Where's the cancel button? No, you click it. Huh? You sure? I don't have a cancel button. Is there any other way for you to pay me? Yes. Wake up. Pay this Gcash number. 0917-804-4751. Send me screenshot. Pay 50K there and send screenshot. That should receive. Anyway, baka automatic cancel. Hello, sorry, I didn't get notified. May 3 minutes pa tayo. We have 3 minutes to complete transaction. Kindly send 50K payment and I release crypto. Hindi ko kasi makita talaga yung cancel. Yes. Please send there. Pasensya. I know that we are in class. Pasensya. May nagbayad ba sa GCash mo? Meron bang GCash payment? Wala. Di bale. Okay na. Sige. Okay lang. Hindi, kasi may magbabayad sa akin eh. Exceed payment daw. Sige, di bale, wag na lang. Okay. Hindi, wala. Hindi ko alam kung may nagbayad sa'yo, pero hindi yata. Walang deposit slip eh. Okay, sige. Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, okay. Ano ba to? Appeal. Hindi siya nagbayad eh. So, alangan namang maglabas ako ng pera. Naka-block ka na po, sir. Ang dami mong excuses eh. Feel ko hindi talaga ito magbabayad talaga sa akin. Okay, sige, cancel. Please cancel on your side. You can cancel the order. Sige na, okay na. Mamaya ako na inayusin. Di bale, hindi naman siya nagbayad eh. Pardon, I'm in class. So sorry. I will next time stop that. Pardon everyone. I will ensure to close that Binance ad next time when I'm in class. I think that was a faker. Oh, yun, no? Kinancel na nga nung buyer. So I was just gonna be scammed by somebody. All right. Didn't pay me and wanted me to release crypto. Okay, so NEO right now is trading within actually the low end. You'll notice that electric vehicles are actually currently doing nothing because of the potential IPO listing of in Hong Kong. The appetite in Chinese names in general has been very bad ever since all of these. It started with was Didi Global the start? Initially, what was Didi, and then the Talon Edu, and well, now the casinos, and then the Hong Kong Evergrande, Chinese Evergrande, and Hong Kong developers. It's just Alibaba and Tencent. You just can't see the end of the tunnel for all of the Chinese issues. So that's what happened with NEO. It's just been a constant drop from about 56. We're now seeing it 36. Unfortunately, I don't know. It could even go $30. The drop in most Chinese issues has not been about the fundamentals, but really about the hangover discount just for being Chinese. And I haven't seen that change so far. The good things is that Palantir is going up. You could see this is a very clear uptrend. We're seeing also that this is a dependable breakout above 28. Notice that it went breakout here during earnings time, 24. And then another breakout on consolidation here about 27.85. So amongst many consolidation breakouts, I have to say that if you're a breakout player, you shouldn't buy breakouts because this type of market is not suitable for breakout buying. But you can clearly see that Palantir, Salesforce on dips would always have a buyer. So that is something that you are confident upon. Unity Software, you could see also when it broke out, there was also a pullback from about 110, rally to 130. There was that retest here at about 115 before it goes to about 140. This is another move higher, but I'd say even if it goes to 150, there's always going to be pullbacks back to 130. So this is just more of an uptrend channel. Oh, I forgot. Was I sharing? Yeah, I was sharing. So Unity and Palantir are still very strong. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Or resume share. Okay, now, yeah. Sorry, I was chatting about stocks and not showing the charts, no. This is Unity Software. You could see very strong. Palantir, very strong uptrend. NEO is just like all Chinese stocks. Unfortunately, all Chinese stocks are just very weak. So it really is a bad thing. What's a good entry price for Unity? I'd say that for Unity and Palantir, they always have pullbacks. So for Palantir, your pullback now would be about a higher low at about 27. And then your pullback now for Unity is somewhere a zone of 130. So just a $10 drop from the current levels of 140. Party City, I just wanted to show to you what's been happening in the reopening stocks. The truth is, Party City didn't have a very good number, but it seems as if the market has been ignoring all the bad numbers and is really constantly buying all that reopening recovery for next year. So the market wants to buy cyclical stocks. Party City rallied from about $6 all the way to $8. I'd say that dips near 7 is going to be met with a higher low. This could be setting up for an uptrend move for Party City. So you are breaking out from that downtrend line, 7 becoming support. Funko, we are seeing actually this amongst all retailers. We're very happy with the e-commerce segment, especially how Loungefly products are doing very well, or the Funko backpacks. So I'd say this one, right now it's still in a trading range. It's very clear, 17 to 21. But we're more bullish here, such that every drop of Funko here, about 17, would be more of a buying area rather than, so more of a buying area on higher lows. Live Nation, we're just showing to you how the movements are. Actually, it's just been an uptrend, no? 74, 80, 86. When you see these types of moves, it makes you more confident that Disney, DraftKings, Penn National Gaming would eventually get their mojo back. So you're seeing reopening related names go up. In social media front, we are looking positive, constructive for Twitter. After this gap down here on earnings front, it took about 5 months for it to go back from about 40 all the way to 60 or 50% up. But actually at $60, you're just back to where you were on May. I'd say that Twitter has a lot of resistances. You're about 72. But it's happy to see that with Twitter trying to monetize, if you'll notice, Twitter Spaces, Twitter e-commerce, Twitter monetization plans, more advertising as well. So Twitter is in a recovery zone, and I'd say dips at about 60 is being bought by the market. The fact that it didn't go below 58 tells me that Twitter is in a positive uptrend, at least for the next 3 to 6 months. Facebook, we're going to be a little bit contrarian here. We like the positive movement of earnings and the explanation of metaverse and the recent Ray-Bans for Facebook. So I'd say drops of Facebook back to this pre-earnings level announcement of about $330 is going to be a buying area for majority of us. 330 and any dips below would be more of a buy. Yeah, so that's about it. The market is not in a bullish zone, but we are seeing some names very bullish. So if I'm gonna round up my top choices for tonight, it's gonna be Salesforce. It's gonna be still the strongest ones, the digital payment sector. I want you to focus still on cloud-related names, digital-related names. And if you're really bullish on China, unfortunately, there's no support, even if good numbers. Neo and XPEV did well on earnings, but you don't see support there. A lot of companies like Futu and Tiger did well as in terms of earnings, but is actually just sleeping in the support zone. So Chinese names would be unfortunately taking more time than usual. I don't know, it's gonna be another 3 months or 6 months before they go up. Unity and Palantir, definitely very good pullbacks to enter into. Let me answer some of, wow, this is a good demo of how people try to scam. Oh, thank you guys for seeing that. Yeah, people aren't paying, and then they say that limits in cash. Either way, oh yeah, so anyway, I blocked the person already. I don't know him anyway. If you just don't pay me immediately, I'll just block you, even if you're a good payer. Upstart Holdings, very strong. So I wouldn't enter these though. I just stick to the usuals. Shopify, still a buy. Unfortunately, for the very strong ones like C Limited, what you just want to do here is for very strong ones like C Limited or CrowdStrike, Just wait for them to give a pullback, although the dips are just very little, like 5% or at most 10%. But that just shows you how strong they really are. So not we're not bullish on I know QuantumScape and Fuel Cell went up, but I'm not really bullish on those. They go up, but it's just a trading range. So what's a good entry price for Path? We didn't cover Path. This is an IPO, UiPath. Let me try to study it before giving a buy reco on it. It's been a downtrend since IPO, no? 88 all the way to about 53. There are some IPOs that have been in a downtrend. UiPath is one of them. Coupang is also another. 68 going down to $30. I'll try to study them because usually after 6 months, if the earnings really are good, they'll recover. Just like what happened with Airbnb. After a downfall from about 220 all the way to 130, you see it recovering, right? 130 to 175. So there might be those IPOs like UiPath that I'll study in case those IPOs replenish themselves upward. This is an example of an IPO that hasn't rallied back. C3AI. After IPO of 175, it's now just $50 or down 74%. This is also a competition in AI, artificial intelligence, a competitor of Palantir. So there's just a lot of companies that are very weak. LegalZoom is an IPO. We're bullish on it. However, it's been a downtrend. I'd say that market is really difficult. So with 28, you don't have any support. Could go 20 to $22 and so on. So after the break of 35, this has gone nowhere. If you have it, be careful though. Resistances are strong, 33, 34. And so it seems as if an online attorney is not as needed versus an online tax accountant. The movements of LegalZoom and Avalara are very different. The movements and online doctors right now are also not well. The charts aren't doing so well. Teladoc is quite bad, sleeping here at the support of 138. So there you have the chart attack for the night. See you again next Friday, and I hope that you're still investing even if the market is very weak. Stay there because we'll go up. It's just that it's very difficult. My strongest ideas: Salesforce, Ford, Robinhood, digital payments, Arena, maybe the CrowdStrikes on dips 240. Very difficult, yeah. So reopening, I'm not that bullish. Even if it's going up, I might sell on rallies if I have. So example, if you have Funko, I think 20 is more of a sell rather than a buy, even if we're bullish on it. So we're still stuck in a trading range, unfortunately. Okay, that's it. See you Monday. Bye-bye. Thanks.